All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, what's going on? Tuesday. It feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday, July the 5th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. I am Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. As always, again, appreciate you all tuning in. What's up? Hope you're all feeling okay after the July 4th weekend. Like I said, I felt like for whatever reason it was Monday, obviously because yesterday was the holiday and it is the first day of the Daily Crow this week. But guys, we are here live taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I see Brendan, Joey, Justin, Travi, Connor McCormish. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, guys, if you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered there. Speaking of the Big Cock Club, Saturday is the 1-year anniversary of the inception of the Big Cock Club. So stay tuned on Saturday. There might be, hint, might be some specials dropping for the Big Cock Club. Might be a subscription special dropping for BCC that is a special 24 or 48-hour type of deal. So again, just stay tuned for that, guys. Really, really exciting stuff. John Edward, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. And we have got, my friends, listen. I say a lot of times here on these airwaves, content's bleeding out the eyeballs, and we've got a packed week and all that good stuff. But when I say it this week, I want you all to know, when I say it this week, I mean it. We have got a massive week in regards to content, in regards to, we've been having a lot of fun over the last month or so with our top 5 lists and ranking different things and having sort of off-season banter, if you will, right? This week, it gets real. Starting tomorrow, it gets real. Because yours truly is dropping his game-by-game predictions for the 2022 football season. Part 1 tomorrow, which will be the first 6 games. And I break it up into 2 parts because I feel like if it was one long episode, it would be a very long episode. Because on tomorrow's show, I won't just talk the first 6 games. I'll talk most important game, key 3-game stretch, biggest opportunity for an upset, best case, worst case, right? So we'll talk a lot more. Then we'll dive into game-by-game predictions. Part 1 tomorrow, part 2 on Friday. So by the end of this week, you're going to know exactly where I sit. I'm going to lock them in, whether I'm right, wrong, whatever it might be. I will say last year I picked 6-6, 3-5 in SEC play, and sure enough, the Gamecocks went exactly 6-6 and 3-5 in SEC play. The only miss I had with my preseason predictions was I had the Gamecocks beating Tennessee, losing to Florida. Outside of that, you switch those 2, I hit the nail on the head. Will we do that again this year? We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be a damn fun week. Content bleeding out the eyeballs. Going to be a blast. Travi, yes. Thank you for highlighting it, sir. In case you missed the big announcement yesterday, if you're in the Big Cock Club, you knew this was coming, right? Pause. If you're in the Big Cock Club, you knew about this news already. Beginning 3 weeks from yesterday, July 25th, I am very excited, proud to announce that former Gamecocks quarterback, the legend, a man that needs no introduction around these parts, Stephen Garcia, will be joining the show every single Monday, beginning July 25th. It will be sometime between noon to 2. I'm not exactly sure. We've got to sit down and iron out those details. And again, guys, of course, every Monday before we go live, I'll let you know exactly what time he's jumping on. But it'll be about for 30 minutes or so every single Monday. Stephen Garcia will join me. Of course, we'll talk X's and O's. We'll talk Gamecocks, but it's Stephen Garcia, guys. And it's yours truly. We'll be shooting the shit, talking whatever. Heck, we might have some segments where we take your questions, whatever it might be. But I am confident in saying, we're going to get things rolling before kickoff actually happens, obviously, guys, through the month of August and all that good stuff. but especially in season when these games get going, right? This is going to be, I'm confident in saying, the best, not just Gamecocks content, but some of the best college football content on the internet every single Monday. I mean, it's Stephen Garcia, guys. And the beautiful thing about Garcia, he fits the mold of what we do so well because, yes, he's going to come on here and tell us exactly what Spencer Rattler was seeing and the X's and O's and what's happening on the field. But he's also going to shoot the shit, be raw, be unfiltered, and that's what we're about here, right? That's what we're about here. So I cannot wait, man. I appreciate y'all's love and support. I know you guys, the reception was great as I expected. You guys are really fired up, ready to go, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be awesome. Again, we're going to have Steven on every single Monday throughout the college football season and maybe beyond. I mean, listen, if it's something we go through and we get through December, we get through the bowl game, and I mean, I would love to have him on throughout the year, however long. But at minimum, we will have Steven on throughout the football season every single Monday on the Daily Crow. And Garcia really, guys, is the first. He's the first. I would like to, at some point, if possible, and I think it's very possible, I think it's just setting it up with people in their schedules, but have daily guests on for 20 to 30 minutes. We do our thing. We take questions. We take calls, but I think it's just natural in the evolution of the show and providing more value and pushing more value for you guys that, when you bring people in from the outside, like Big Game Boomer on Friday, that was awesome. That was awesome, right? So I do want to do more of that, but really, really excited to have Stephen Garcia on the show. It's going to be incredible, man. I mean, it's going to be the best content at minimum on Mondays, but it's going to be some of the best college football content on the internet throughout the season. Also, I will be highlighting this later today on social media when I actually go by there. But I wanted to make it officially official to you all on the Daily Crow, right? As you all know already, our merchandise has been in Rivals in Florence, South Carolina for quite some time, and it will continue to be, and I appreciate those fine folks for having our merchandise there. As of today, right, because they were closed yesterday, as of today, I am very excited and proud to announce, that our merchandise has officially hit the rack at Todd and Moore Sporting Goods in Columbia, South Carolina. Let's do a little bit of a hand there. Am I giving myself a hand? Actually, I'm giving you all a hand. For your love and support, because without it, this would not be happening. But talk to the folks this morning. The Beamer Ball merchandise in garnet, black, and white. It is on the rack currently at Todd and Moore Sporting Goods in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. So if you're in Columbia, if you're coming through Columbia, you're obviously going to be coming in town for football season. Be sure to stop by Todd and Moore Sporting Goods to get your Beamer Ball merchandise. And please, guys, do me a favor. Go buy up this merch, because guess what happens if we buy up the merch? They're going to order more, and they're going to order an even bigger order than the initial order they got. Anyways, though, I appreciate you all, man, your love and support. Like I said, without you guys buying up the merch on the online store, opportunities like this would not be possible. So I'll be going by there later today, taking some video, taking some pictures. Of course, I'll be promoting this on social media, but yeah, very proud and excited to announce, man, that the merch is on the rack at Todd and Moore, and I can't wait to go see it in person. It's funny. I have not actually had the opportunity yet to stop by Rivals in Florence. I think I will be doing that on my way to Myrtle Beach for the TSUS tour. I have gone and seen my merchandise before on the rack at Palmetto Moon, but I just want you all to understand that it is a dream come true. I mean, I've always loved merch, whether it was my merch or other people's merch, and I've always just seen people making merch and thought that was so cool. So when I first started this thing, this entity, this business, I knew I wanted merch to be a huge part of it, right? I knew that was an outlet in which I wanted to get my creative juices flowing, and I knew it was a way that I could separate myself and push value. But, and on that note, to see the merch, to think about the fact that we have merchandise in a store, you know what I mean? I mean, that is a dream come true. I don't want people to think I'm just like, oh, that's just some comment. No, that's a dream come true, bro. I mean, it's something that you have a goal of, I think, when you start, but you just, for it to actually happen, it's it's like beyond words, man. It's just incredible. I mean, it's unreal. It's a blessing. It's a blessing beyond measure. So again, thank you guys, man, because without your love and support on the online store, because, I was able to confidently tell Todd Moore, hey, people love this merchandise. Like, y'all should have it in your location. And the guy was like, you're right. We should. So excited to go by there, and I just wanted to let you all know the merchandise is in Todd and Moore Sporting Goods in downtown Columbia. And again, I just cannot say thank you guys enough for your love and support, man, and buying up the merch. And yeah, it's incredible. Let's see. Rebecca, announcement to make next Tuesday on the Spurs Up Show. We'll be celebrating my birthday on July 12th, knowing that my birthday is on the 13th, and Chris is going to be leaving out to go somewhere. Well, Rebecca, stay tuned, by the way. We might actually go live on the 13th. My brother's coming into town from the Army. He's coming into town from Alaska. I don't know what the hell the plan is. I got to figure all that out. I'll let you know what's going on. Rebecca, happy early birthday, though. All right, let's dive into your listener questions. I know I've been sort of rambling about things going on. Also, by the way, though, Brendan did highlight this. Your guy is in the recruiting space now. I mean, I've always, touched on it, but never to an in-depth level. And I've been hammering TikTok. I've been making TikTok much more of an initiative. Guys, if you do not follow us on TikTok, do me a favor and go to TikTok and hit that follow button. Because I'm pushing a lot more content on TikTok, right? I'm pushing a lot more content on TikTok right now. And I just realized, you have the green screen feature on TikTok, right? You have the green screen feature on TikTok. And I thought, why not just start giving little 1-minute synopsis of, these recruits and the great job that Shane Beamer's doing on the recruiting trail. So I was like, you know what? Let's start doing that. So your guy has dove into the recruiting game in some aspects. Now, I'm still not going to be the insider guy. I'm not going to be the crystal ball guy. But, reacting to what South Carolina is doing on the recruiting trail, absolutely. Who am I to not do that? So we're playing around with some different content, guys. It's really exciting. As you all know, I love to continue to evolve and grow and keep things fresh. And so that's what we're doing. Let's see. Stephanie Lee, I appreciate you tuning in. Travis Allen said, it looks like the linebacker room is getting loaded. Yeah, I highlighted this yesterday, and you get the pickup of Jaden Robinson, and you think about what you've done with Pup Howard and Stone Blanton and the job that Clayton White has done. Linebacker has been an area of deficiency for us for a long time. So the fact that they're able to go out there and get these great players and sell this program, because, again, if you're a linebacker and you look at our program, you might say to yourself, well, they haven't, they don't have a great history of great linebackers. And we've had some good ones, don't get me wrong, but overall, the linebacker room, at least over the last couple of years, has been kind of meh. We have that one good guy, and then the rest of it's just sort of there. So the fact that Clayton White and company, I think it just goes to show, again, the job they did last year flipping the defense, and I think Clayton White's just a damn good coach, and he's able to sell his vision and sell the fact that he is a damn good defensive coach to these recruits. Let's see. Joey Guyton, TSUS TikTok content's great. Also a place for fans to interact with recruits. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, for sure. Recruits are certainly on TikTok. And I will tell you this, though. It's funny how, comments vary, right? Comments vary from entity to entity or platform to platform, like Twitter comments, Instagram comments, Facebook comments, right? They all sort of have, because the audiences are different. TikTok comments are some of the most absurd. It is insane. On Instagram, we have 2 or 3 Clemson folk that'll try to troll, all right, on our posts. Bro, TikTok is nothing but rival fans just talking shit. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm like, dude, this isn't. I feel like there's more rival fans seeing my shit than there are Gamecock fans. So, I don't know. Tyler Knoll, here we go. He says, if we go 6-6 this year, there's going to be a lot of irate fans. I would call that an unsuccessful season. With all the talent that has been brought in this offseason, especially on the offensive side of the ball, there's no reason why this team shouldn't win 8 games. 6-6 and Sat's got to go. 0 excuses this year. Tyler, let me just flip this on you to play devil's advocate. What happens if the Gamecocks go 6-6 and the defense isn't good? Do you still get rid of Sat? I think fans have like just completely blocked that out. Fans just think the defense this year is a given. They think there's no potential this defense cannot take a step back. Do you think we lose any games this year due to defense? Is it possible? You know? Is it possible? Is it possible? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think the defense is going to be solid. Next week, guys, next week we're going to start our season preview series, which will just be that specific content will be 1 week, and then the following week we dive into opponent preview series, and then we'll get into position unit previews and all that good stuff. But next week, I'll break down offense, defense, special teams. I mean, literally dissect it and give my thoughts and predictions for each of these units. I think defense is going to be solid, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to think that we could have some games where we struggle defensively. I mean, you know, you did lose some guys on defense that, you know, it's not a given you replace them. You know, is Devontae Reed equal to or better than Jalen Foster was a year ago, right? You lose J.J. Enagbare. You lose Jabari Ellis in the middle, right? You lose an Aaron Sterling, right? I'm not saying the defense should take some major step back, but I'm just saying that, is the defense going to be elite? I think it'll be good enough. If this defense, like I've said before, if this defense is not producing turnovers at a crazy rate, are we able to still stop people? Are we still able to get off of the field? That's the big question I have. That's the big question that I have. Daddy O, this is a great question. If we play some close games this year, who is kicking? Dude, that's a fantastic question, Daddy O. I think Mitch Jeter's the leader in the clubhouse right now. I unless this kid that transferred in from Arizona State is all world, whatever. But Daddy O, you're right. Daddy O, we're going to talk about it next week. We're going to spend an entire podcast next Friday talking special teams. Because, I mean, this is Beamer ball. What is Beamer ball? It's special teams, right? You can't forget special teams. And so, dude, think back to 20. This is the first time we will have been going through a transition at kicker since 2017. Think back to when we went through that initial transition. How rough that was. Think about Parker White's first year. It was abysmal. The dude went like 14 of 30 on field goals. I mean, it was abysmal. So, you know, it's not a given that the kicking situation will be 100 and will be great and all that. You know, you're right. This is probably going to be a team that's in some close games, and you've got to be sure you've got everything taken care of on the kicking side of things. So, hey, that's a question to be answered as well, man. TA says, let's give a little credit on the Reno commit. Kid really seemed to like him, heard him mention it multiple times. I mean, I think the Reno pickup's great, man. Will he reclassify? I think, or Sat seemed to like him. Yeah, I think that's the yeah, I mean, I think Reno was a good pickup. If I was him, honestly, I would not reclassify. I like, and I'm not even just talking about him. I'm talking about, like, what's the advantage of leaving high school early? Like, I think kids need that time to develop. Like, there's no rush. There's no rush, right? Enjoy your high school senior year. Like, develop in the high school ranks for another year. We're good until you get here. We got Bailey. We've got Davis. We got Gauthier. We got Luke Doty. We'll manage next season. We'll manage. Like, I just think reclassifying, it's like, are you really ready to go up against grown men at 17? I don't think so. My guy, Eric Fryer, this is Eric's operating state all the time. Befuddlement. What's up, Eric? Appreciate you, dog. Let's see. Rebecca, yes, you are more than welcome to call in and ask questions. The phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, also in the Big Cock Club Discord, have the TDC questions channel to be sure that your questions are answered there. Again, guys, huge week of content this week. Tomorrow, I'm dropping my part 1 of my 2022 season predictions for Gamecocks football. On Friday, it will be part 2, which will be my final season predictions, okay? So tomorrow, first 6 games. Friday, final 6, and you'll know the full schedule at that point with scores. Game-by-game predictions with scores. So really, really exciting stuff. Looking forward to it. Again, I appreciate you guys. I know you guys will tune in and rock and be interactive and engaging, and we're going to have a blast. I mean, we are going to have a blast for sure. So, also, guys, things are moving on the SEC Unfiltered side of things. Things are moving on the SEC Unfiltered side of things. We are actually finalizing a deal to sign our first podcast in the SEC Unfiltered network. It is a Georgia podcast. That's all I will say. I'm also talking to a Vandy podcast and a Tennessee podcast. Going to be reaching out to shows for every single team in the SEC. As I've told you all before, we are kind of going a different direction with SECU. Heck, I'm looking for a host for that show in its own right. And I felt like, you know what? I don't want to take away or compromise anything that I'm doing with TSUS just to push this SECU entity. Instead of me trying to stretch myself to create content and push this SECU initiative, let's expand outward. I told you guys, I had that epiphany last week. Like, let's expand outward. Let's grow the team. Let's outsource. And so that's what we're doing. So slowly but surely, we are moving along, making progress, and I'm really excited for it. Jeff Gullidge, I was late. Here, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing good. How was your 4th of July?
It was fantastic. Had a really, really good time. How was yours?
It was good. Had barbecue ribs.
That sounds delicious.
I think we still got some leftovers in the fridge.
Dang, I wish I was at your house then. Get me some barbecue ribs.
Had some barbecue ribs, potato salad, and deviled eggs.
Yum. Very good.
Okay, you said this guy, Stephen Garcia, is supposed to be on the show, right?
Beginning July the 25th and every Monday from there on out through football season, yes.
All right, do we get to ask him questions?
We might do something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think calling in.
Call in and ask him questions.
Yeah, and I don't think calling, just because if we did that, then the entire 20 to 30-minute segment would just be nothing but questions. So the whole point of him coming on is he and I are going to conversate. We probably won't take calls. Maybe one day we will have a day where we take nothing but calls, but
but
for the most part, it's going to be he and I talking ball, shooting the shit, what have you. So
right.
But you can comment questions.
Now you should tell him about me.
I will do it.
Because he'll like to hear this. A woman up in Tennessee, is a big old Gamecock fan.
Hell yeah. I know he'll appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm
in a better good mood than what I was last week.
We love to hear that. We love to hear that. Absolutely.
I can't wait for my birthday.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's awesome. Happy early birthday.
I appreciate it, Chris. A lot of people have missed me on here, I see.
Yeah, we all love hearing from you.
It's been a while since about Garcia. It's been a while. I remember his name on TV, but I just couldn't. I can't remember what he looks like, to be honest.
He's a legend.
I mean,
that's all you need to know. He's a legend. He's a legend.
Right, he's a legend for the Gamecock.
Indeed.
But you should tell him about me.
Rebecca, I'll let you do the honors.
That would be awesome. When is my birthday? It is July 13th. Not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. Somebody asked me that. Yeah. I'm going to look forward to that. That'd be a good birthday present. Get to talk to him.
Yeah. Like I said, July 25th is when it'll start. So
we doing the birthday party on next Tuesday or Wednesday?
I'll figure it out. I don't exactly know the plans with my family. I don't know if we're actually still going out of town. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I've got to figure that out, Rebecca. So
you might as well do it on Tuesday.
Might as well. I mean, why not?
I mean, because I'll be spending time with the family, and I don't know if I'll be able to listen in to the show or not. You know?
Right. Rebecca, Tuesday, we'll just let you host it. You can host your own little birthday party. I'll take the day off.
Are you sure you want me on there?
What, to host the show?
Yeah.
I think my pause probably says everything. No, I'll do the honors of the hosting. It was a joke. So, no, I got you though. We will definitely make sure. We will definitely make sure that your birthday is recognized, no doubt.
Everybody's hollering for me to be a host on there. You said that, now everybody's wanting that.
Yeah,
now.
Look what I did. Look what I did.
You're gonna have everybody want me to do that. Need to do it one day with me and Robbie Davis.
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah. I'm telling you, the Robbie and Rebecca podcast, gold. It's just gold waiting to happen.
Yeah. But I wanted to call in and say hello to everybody in South Carolina. Tell everybody that I love everybody.
We all love you too, Rebecca. Glad to hear you're cheerful this week, and yeah, we're set up for a great week. I think, no doubt.
Yeah, I can't wait to celebrate my birthday with y'all.
It'll be a lot of fun. We can't wait either.
I can't wait either. But somebody said make the broadcast happen, please. But anyway, I reckon I'll get off here and let everybody else call in and everything.
Well, Rebecca, I appreciate you calling in, the first call of the week. So setting a high bar for everybody else that calls in. But no, I appreciate it as always.
But like I said, I was calling in to say hello to everybody and I let everybody know that I love them. And I wish I could be down in South Carolina, to be honest.
Yeah, you got to get down here sometime soon.
I tell you, I need to. I need a vacation from Tennessee.
Facts. Facts. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you put up with it.
I put up with it every day.
Fight the good fight.
Every bullshit.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Every bullshit. What now?
I said just keep fighting the good fight.
It's everyday bullshit with being here in Tennessee. But anyway,
Indeed.
Okay, I'm going to get off here before anybody else wants to call in.
Rebecca, appreciate you as always. Have a great rest of your day.
All right.
We'll talk soon. Great stuff from Rebecca. 843-790-3377. Rebecca spreading the love on a Tuesday. Spreading the love on July 5th. Let's see. Let's go back here. Eric commented, my guy says, Aaron says the defense is suspect. I say when you aren't spending 65% of the game on the field, that things might be different. But considering you have one of the best pass defenses in the country, I'm curious about your statement. No secondary, please explain. I'll say this, Eric, to your comment about the defense. I do think Torian Gray has earned the benefit of the doubt in the fact that the secondary will be solid. Are we going to be top 10 in passing defense again? I don't think so, and I think that number was a little inflated because you couldn't stop the run. Call it for what it is. I mean, I had this conversation with Brad Lawing. He said you never brag as a defensive coach about having a top 10 pass defense because that just means you can't stop the run. So my concern's not pass defense. It's run defense. It's run defense. I think with Cam Smith leading the way, Darius Rush showed last year he's a solid player. R.J. Roderick is back. Devontae Reed should fill in nicely. You signed 6 DBs. I think out of those freshmen, you're going to have 2 or 3 guys step up. Keenan Nelson Jr., Anthony Rose, the kid from Irmo, whose last name I can't pronounce, Nick Emanwari, I think his name is. You're going to have guys step up that I think will be good players. It's all about stopping the run for this team. It's all about stopping the run for this defense. Gamecocks fan 67. What's up? Tommy Wallace says, win or lose, how many potential one-score games do you see in our schedule? You know, Tommy, I will sit down later today and start breaking down the schedule, obviously locking in my predictions tomorrow for the first half of the season. So by the end of the week, that answer will be much more clear, but I think there's more than a few. Yeah, I think there's more than a few. I think we're going to be in some tight ball games this year. I think we're going to be in some close ball games for sure. So, winning on the road too, man. I posted that this morning. If you broke down keys to the season, like broad keys, winning on the road has got to be near the top. I posted this this morning, right? That South Carolina is 3-11 in true road games since 2019, and South Carolina has lost 10 of their last 11 road SEC contests. Not only that, guys. Not only that. South Carolina is 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 SEC road games. What that tells you is South Carolina, number 1, is not winning on the road. Number 2, though, they're getting their asses whooped. They're getting blown out on the road. Look at last year. You beat East Carolina. Great. Awesome. Game you had to have. Texas A&M, blowout. You think of Tennessee, blowout. I don't care what you say about the second half. That game was over before it even started. Who else am I forgetting? Who are the other 2? Georgia, blowout, right? And Missouri, not a blowout, but a loss, right? You got to be better on the road. You've got to be better on the road. Arkansas, Kentucky, Vandy, and Florida. Those are your SEC road games. And, of course, you close out with Clemson on the road. I think to get to 7 wins, maybe 8, you got to go probably 2-2 on those road games. You got to go 2-2 in those road games. I think at minimum for sure. I think you got to go 2-2. So you got to be better on the road. Todd Smith, my guy. Let me highlight this real quick. Todd Smith with the super chat. Yeah, if you guys want to support the business, support the content, support everything we do, and you're on YouTube, super chat, super stickers. Appreciate you tuning in, Todd Smith. Thank you so much for the love and support, my guy. Thank you. And guys, I will tell you all this. I know many of you tune in on Facebook, and that's great. And that's where a lot of you prefer to tune in, and that's great. But if you really want to support the business, right? If you really want to support the business monetarily, if you want to support the business, tuning in on YouTube, right? Tuning in on YouTube does wonders because you can't monetize Facebook. You can't monetize Twitter. You can monetize YouTube. Either way, though, I just appreciate y'all tuning in. Also, guys, I wanted to highlight this, and I will highlight this on social media a little bit later today. Comfort Colors. We all love Comfort Colors. Who does not love Comfort Colors merchandise? We now have a full Comfort Colors collection on the online store, tsus.com. TSUS.store. A lot of your favorite logos, a lot of your favorite collections are now on Comfort Colors. If you go to TSUS.store, you'll see them on the homepage. You can also click the tab on the left-hand side that says Comfort Colors, and you will see all of the Comfort Colors merchandise. I've already gotten some for me, and guys, it's incredible. I almost hate it because I'm like, now I got to repurchase everything I already have so I can get it in Comfort Colors. But either way, guys, you want your Comfort Colors merch today, TSUS.store. Go check it out. Aaron Thompson. He says no secondary means who do you have other than Cam Smith? Last year's stats were definitely skewed. Listen, I will say this. You've got Cam Smith, which is a great place to start. Darius Rush was much better than I thought he was going to be last year. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't some questions in the secondary. I don't think it's an elite secondary. Cam Smith needs to be that dude, and there will be a lot of pressure on Darius Rush this year. There will, because he's the other guy, right? Hey, if they don't think they can throw to Cam Smith's side, guess who they're going to throw at? They're going to throw at Darius Rush, flat out. They're going to throw at Darius Rush. I think, again, Devontae Reed was a good pickup from Central Michigan. Tyrese Ross needs to play more. But guys need to step up in the secondary. So, but for me, stopping the run, that's the number one concern. That's the number one concern. If we can stop the run, I think a lot of stuff will take care of itself. A lot of stuff will take care of itself. Let's see. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Really excited to drop predictions tomorrow. Really excited to drop predictions tomorrow. Really, really pumped. Rakeem Sprinkle says, if Lonergan commits elsewhere, does Reno reclassify? It's tough to say. Again, Rakeem Sprinkle, like I think the quarterback room's okay with if I was Shane Beamer, I'm telling Dante Reno there's no need for it. I just, it's not even Reno, bro. Like the whole reclassification thing on one, like I'm just like, I understand you want to get on campus and start working out and you're so ready to get to college, but it's like, why rush it? You know what I mean?
From
David.
All right, let's jump to the phone lines here. David, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Bro, I'm chilling, man. What's up?
Ain't nothing, man. I was just wanting to comment on what you was talking about as far as the whole defense thing. Like, I feel the same way as far as stopping the run. Like, I feel like last year that was literally our biggest problem. Like, even with Jabari Ellis and Kingsley and all them boys, like, we couldn't stop the run at all. Like, that's the reason why we lost to Missouri. Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like this year, if we're able to stop the run, like the offense is gonna take care of itself. If we can run the ball and stop the run, we're going to be fine. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the big question. I mean, I think that's definitely the big question when it comes to the defense. I mean, I'm just going through right now, looking at looking at your secondary. You know, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. It's just all about stopping the run, man. Can you do it? You didn't do it consistently enough. I'd rather have a defense that could stop the run than was top 10 in pass defense. Because, again, all you're telling teams when you're top 10 in pass defense is that you can't stop the run. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and that's what a lot of people overlook. They don't. If you understand football, you understand that stopping the run, like you're going to give up big plays in the passing game. If you're a good team and stopping the run, you're going to give up plays. But at the end of the day, it's about making plays to get off the field. Period.
Yeah, and we did that so well. Yeah, we did that so well last year. And again, that's just my biggest question is like if we're not getting those turnovers at the rate in which we did last year, are we still going to be able to stop people? I mean, that's
get off the field.
Right. Right.
Exactly. Because third down is going to be the money down. Of course, it's always the money down, but I feel like this year, like for real, if we can get off the field on third down, it don't even matter if we're getting the turnovers, like you said. If we can get off the field, I feel like our offense is going to be good enough to put up the points. Like, I feel like since we haven't had an offense that has this kind of potential since we had Shy, Brian, and Debo all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I feel like we really have weapons this year that can really step up and make something happen if the defense can. But at the same time, we say all that, but if the offensive line don't do nothing, we can't do shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I'd say the big questions for this team, which it's crazy because the question marks I think on offense and defense are kind of the same in regards to line of scrimmage. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, offensive line, can we protect Rattler? Can we block? Can we give some holes to these running backs? And then defensively, the defensive line, can we stop the run? Can we get pressure on the quarterback? Can we do that consistently enough? That's, you know, everywhere else, skill positions, I think we're okay. But line of scrimmage, that's where my questions lie. Line of scrimmage.
On both sides of the ball, I think we're okay skill wise.
Yeah.
Because just like you were saying, I feel like Nick Emori.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name. I feel like either him or between him, Keenan Nelson Jr. and Anthony Rose, I feel like they're out of one of those three, and maybe Stone gonna step up in the defense, because we're gonna have to have more than just Sherrod and Brad and like all those guys. We're gonna need some of those young guys. We're gonna need people like Debo. We're gonna have to step up. You know, he had a year in the program. Like, we need him to step up as well, because we need that 2 deep to be at least some kind of comparable to the 1 deep. Because I was listening to the Believe podcast that Marcus Lattimore and Mike Euler, and that's what Marcus was saying. Like, back when he was there, their 2 deep was just as good as their 1 deep, and that's why they were so successful. So we just got to get back to that.
Yeah. Yep, it's about building quality depth, man. I mean, that's what you're doing in recruiting. That's the only way to do it, and the transfer portal. So, but yeah, I would agree with you. Out of, you know, you signed 6 defensive backs. One at minimum, like 2 or 3 of those guys should play. Somebody should play.
Somebody's going to step.
Yeah, somebody's going to play and be a contributor. There's just, you don't sign that many guys and they all sit the bench. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Appreciate you taking my call, man. It's my first time calling. I've been following you since 2019, and you know, I haven't really had the chance to call in before, so I thought I'd just take the opportunity, man.
Well, I appreciate it, my man. Hey, call in anytime. Sincerely, man. Yeah, it's been a hell of a if you've been following since 2019, then you can appreciate it. It's been one hell of a journey. So yeah, for real. I appreciate the love and support, man. Like I said, the phone lines are always open for you, so call in whenever you like.
Oh, yeah, man. You have a good day, Chris.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate you. Take care. Great stuff, man. Hey, first-time callers are welcome, dude. We don't have to have the same people calling all the time. Phone lines are open for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Phone lines are open for everybody. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you've been following along that long, then you've definitely seen you've seen this journey, a lot of the journey, and some of the craziness of the journey, and but the joys in the journey, man. It's been beautiful. It's been a great thing. It's been a great thing. Let's see. Hunter Herlong says if Sherrod Green stays healthy, he's going to be a huge boost to our defense. Yeah, it was kind of a freak injury last year in that Georgia game. Hopefully he does stay healthy. We need him. We need a leader at linebacker. I think he can be that guy. He can be that guy. Garrett says, possible hot take. I think we have a better chance to win at Arkansas than at Kentucky. I disagree. I think Arkansas will be a tougher game. The matchup, I don't love the matchup. I think it will be a tougher game. I'm not trying to spoil my predictions or anything, but I think Arkansas is a harder game than Kentucky. Put it that way. I don't know if I even ranked those correctly or not when I did my toughest games or whatever. I think sitting here right now, Arkansas is a tougher game than Kentucky. So, let's see. Tommy Wallace, time possession and offensive production this year will do wonders in helping the defense be even better. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a team game, right? It's a team game. So if you've got a terrible offense, if you have a terrible offense, it's going to be hard for your defense, for you to get the most out of your defense, right? It's just going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So, you know, I think a potent, productive offense would help this group. There's no doubt. I think it would help this group. Absolutely, it would help this group. So, yeah, should help. Should help. This football team should be much improved. Guys, we're going to jump into a quick break. I want to continue to hear from you, though, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking your questions, comments, and calls. 843-790-3377. Tim and Cody, what's going on, my guy? We do have a text here. Just want to let everybody know my birthday is January the 26th. Chase, I appreciate that, my guy. My birthday is December the 25th. Anybody who wants to know. Keith in the TDC Questions channel says, we need a returner who can flip the field other than Juju. Who do we got? I think you look at guys like Amarian Brown. You look at a guy like Cam Smith, maybe. You look at a guy like Antoine Wells. You look at a guy, who else? Maybe Josh Van. Could he return punts for you? You definitely need somebody that can be more explosive in regards to special teams. No doubt. Luke RJ says, Chris, I know we're talking football now, but do you have any comment about the G.G. Jackson rumors? I'd say they're just rumors right now, my guy. I'd be pretty surprised if South Carolina got. That'd be insane if South Carolina ended up landing G.G. Jackson. What's crazy is, that guy Jamie Shaw. I've never met him. I don't know him. He does follow us on social media, and we follow him. I've seen his work before. It looks like he does a good job. I'll be honest with you. I haven't read a bunch of it or followed along. So I'm sure he does a great job. A guy like that, you're like, because I know there were a lot of UNC fans denying his report and denying what he said. It's like, but why would he put a story out there like that if there wasn't real traction? If there wasn't real traction for GG decommitting and considering to go elsewhere. Why would you put out an article? Why would you put your name at risk in that way? Because if it comes out it's bullshit, then you just have completely wrecked your reputation in some regards, right? And I understand when you're in the insider industry, you're in the scoop industry, you're trying to get every scoop you can, you got to take risks, and that's just the risk you take. But I don't know. On the Gamecock side of things, let's put it this way. I'm not getting my hopes up that there's even a chance he comes to Carolina. I'm just not. If we get him, we'll celebrate. We'll pack CLA, and it'll be a very pleasant surprise. Other than that, I'm not putting any stock that he's actually going to consider coming to South Carolina. I'm just not doing it. So, but what a win it would be for Lamont Paris, and certainly we all agree he could use some wins. That's for sure. Joseph says, I say our 3 non-conference games and Vandy Mizzou are 5 built-in wins. So the season comes down to 4 games: Arkansas, Kentucky, Florida, and Tennessee. Would like to add Clemson to that list, but what, Joseph? But what? Courtney, what's up? How are you? Feel like I haven't seen you in here lately, Courtney. John Edwards says, Reddit College Ball on Twitter says Notre Dame apparently has agreed in principle to join the Big Ten. Smart move. They need to be in a conference. Smart move. Smart move by them. Very smart move by them. Let's see. Complete side note, by the way, guys, and change of subject. Something we were talking about last night in the Big Cock Club Discord. We were watching a old game or what have you. But I was at the South Carolina Clemson game last fall, and again, this is just so random out of left field. But does anybody else think it's crazy that after everything, Clemson fans are still willing to rock a Deshaun Watson jersey? I feel like that kind of took me by surprise when I went to the Carolina Clemson game last year, and I'm at the tailgate and I saw somebody rocking a Deshaun Watson Clemson jersey, and I was like, I feel like that's a bold play. I feel like that's a bold move considering everything. You know what I mean? It'd be like a Southern Cal fan rocking an O.J. Simpson jersey. Because it's he's innocent. He didn't do it, but he did. You know what I mean? Like he did. And so, when it comes to Deshaun Watson, listen, Deshaun Watson is a free man. I'm not going to get into all of that. But it's where there's smoke, there's fire. And when there's 24 or whatever people, however many cases there were, You mean 24 people were all saying the same thing and it just didn't happen? And even, you know what, though, like, even if you're a Clem Sucks fan, like, you probably have a lot of Clem Sucks merch and you got a lot of Clem Sucks jerseys. Choosing to rock the Deshaun Watson jersey in the current state of affairs, it's a bold play. That's all I'm saying. It's a bold play. It's a bold play. And it just goes to show that when people love a sports team, they love an athlete, they are so willing to look past anything and everything to be like, I love this player because of what he did at my school. He wore my colors. He won a title. I don't give a damn what he does. I rock with him. I will defend him until the bitter end. But it's still a bold play. It's a bold move. It's a bold move. That's all I'm saying. It's a bold move. It's a bold move. I don't even think Clemson fans would disagree. That's a bold move. It's a bold move. Anyways, that's just sort of one of those random thoughts that that ran through my brain. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I just like, really? You can't rock anybody else? You're not going to rock anybody else's jersey, my guy? You're going to rock the Deshaun Watson? Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Anyways, I just, oh, man. Aaron Thompson says that seems something more like South Carolina would do. I don't know if you're a resident slapdick, Aaron, but it's not because Clemson fans were the one rocking the jersey, my guy. So don't shoot the messenger. Be pissed at your own fans. Don't be pissed at us. We're not the one rocking the jersey. We're not the ones supporting the kids' antics. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic on this Tuesday. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I just wanted to say that I think if by some miracle, okay, both sides of the ball are playing great football this season, I think we could pull off an upset or two, okay? But with all the pieces that we have lost on the defensive side of the ball, all the productivity, for lack of a possible better word, I guess you could say, that we did lose, I would not be surprised if Torian Gray fixed our run defense, because like you said earlier before the first break, our run defense was absolutely awful. I mean, I've never seen a Division I college football team have a worser run defense than we did last year. Now, our pass defense was, as you said, in the top 10, right? But if you don't have a running game and they know you can't stop the run, you know what they're going to do? They're going to run it down your throat until you prove that you can stop it, okay? They will run it down your throat and force you to eat it. And they won't give a darn, okay? But I just feel like this is going to probably most likely be one of them prove it to me kind of seasons that you can stop the run, okay? And until we show this season that we can stop the run, teams will try to run on us. I feel like they will definitely try to run on us 100%, just based off of last year. And I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way. Happy early birthday to Rebecca. And also, my dad he'll be featuring at the Comedy House on the 15th and the 16th. Okay, so if y'all ain't doing nothing that weekend, come out to the Comedy House on Decker Boulevard and laugh your liver loose, okay? Seriously. And you might get some free merch out of it. because sometimes he gives away koozies if he doesn't have a lot of koozies left. So if y'all ain't, if you're listening, and y'all live in the Columbia area or not far from the Columbia area, I believe tickets are $15 a piece. So yeah. And I will send you the poster, a picture of the poster, after I hang up.
Yeah,
So,
no, and I can
anyway.
attest. Your Uncle Boudreaux is very funny, and it is a good time. So definitely going out to the Comedy House on Decker Boulevard in Columbia, South Carolina. That'll be if I'm able to attend, I will be there, and I will let you guys know, Robbie. I'm not 110% sure what my weekend's going to look like with family in town, but either way, I will let you know.
Hey, you do what you got to do, my guy.
Yeah, but definitely those who are tuned in, if you're in this local area, going out there. But back to your Gamecock points, Robbie, I would, I mean, and you think about it, we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested out the gate.
Week in and week out.
Well, no, I was just going to say, we're going to be tested out the gate in regards to the run defense. Georgia State, very physical team. Sean Elliott, the line of scrimmage guy. You think about week 2, Arkansas, very physical team. They want to run the football. Sam Pittman, line of scrimmage guy. And then you think about Georgia. And Georgia's built around running the football, especially with Stetson Bennett at quarterback. But again, they're Georgia, right? They run the football. They have big physical offensive lines. So those first 3 weeks, I mean, if the line of scrimmage is a problem for you yet again, it's going to be exposed. It will be exposed. So South Carolina better be ready up front to play some good football.
Right. And will there be times where the other team is better than us this season? Absolutely. Will there be times where we are better than our opponent? Absolutely. But it's all about who comes better prepared and who's willing to sacrifice themselves to help their school to get a W.
Right.
Because you can have all the athletic ability that God has given you, but if you don't have the want to, you ain't going to do squat. Okay? If you don't have the I want to do this kind of mentality and I'm going to do my darndest to make sure that my team wins kind of mentality, then your athletic ability is only going to do so much.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, Robbie Davis.
That is a fact. That is a fact. And I wanted to also go ahead and tell you that whenever we get into about the early part or the midway point of August, I will personally give you my game-by-game score prediction.
Okay. And I'll look forward to that.
Okay? And just a heads up, some of them ain't going to be pretty. I'm just telling you. Some of them's not going to be, they're not going to be for the faint of heart. Okay? It ain't going to be, it's not, I'm going to genuinely think about it, look at the schedule, and try and figure out the best I can, and then give you my game-by-game prediction in the early part of August.
Slapdicks are going to be coming at your throat, Robbie. Hope you're ready.
Hey.
How you going to deal with the slapdicks, Robbie?
I'm sorry, but the truth, but I'm sorry, but sometimes the truth hurts, okay? If you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Big facts.
And you won't get burned. Because I'm going to be 100% honest with my predictions, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sugarcoat the crap, as I once said. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be 100% real about it, and that's that.
And Robbie, that's the way I don't ever want you to change, my guy. I don't ever want you to change, Robbie.
And the last thing I wanted to say before I get off of here is, did you hear about the possibility of the SEC picking up UNC, Florida State, and that god-awful team in the upstate?
I did see the rumors. Yes, I did see the rumors. I'd be game with it. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I said it last week. Bring Clemson on.
I can't wait to see how
Bring
Florida
Clemson to
State's
the
gonna
SEC.
do.
I'm game for it, man. I mean, we got to play them
Bring
every year
Let's see how
anyways.
good
Who
they
cares?
really are.
We got to play Clemson every year anyways.
Yeah, we
Who
don't
cares?
care. We don't give a darn. Yeah, we don't care. But yeah, I'll be sure to very thoroughly look through the schedule and think about the predictions and everything, and then I'll give you my game by game prediction on either the first or second week of October.
Mhm.
Or no, August. I meant August, not October. What the hey? By October, we'll be halfway through the season. But anyways, yeah, that's it. You have a great rest of your day. And leave the dumb stuff to me. Go Gamecocks, and to heck with them tater eaters, okay? Them losers. And purple pants and orange shirt wearing losers.
Beautiful.
All right, man.
Robbie, take care, my guy. Appreciate you calling in. Great stuff from Robbie Davis as always. Guys, here we are. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Cody Branch says the best way to predict how one team's going to do against another is watch film on individual players and compare them. Example, corner to wide receiver on the two teams playing. Okay, that's one way to do it. Luke RJ, heard the Vegas line is now 6.5, not 5.5. I think it probably looks, Luke RJ, what site you look at. I'd have to check. I haven't checked the updated odds, Luke RJ. So again, it really just depends on what book on what book you are looking at. Austin Greer says, y'all want Clemson in the SEC and they continue to win 9 to 11 games. Look at their roster and recruiting classes. They are better than every team in the SEC besides Bama and maybe Georgia. You think Clemson's better than Georgia, bro? Give me a break. I mean, Austin, I say this. I mean, if they're getting the playoff either way, like, who cares? Like, bring them on. I don't care. I mean, it's not something where I'm like, why would I fight to keep them out, Austin? You scared of Clemson? Are you scared of them? Are you scared of Clemson, my guy? I mean, if they're going to come, they're going to come. Let it happen. Whatever.
Call from
Dalton.
Let's see. Dalton, what's up, my guy? How are you?
How's it going? I'm
Dude.
just chilling out on the porch on vacation. It is, about 111 degrees outside, or a heat index of 111 out at Surfside Beach today, but it's a beautiful day outside, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I'm glad to hear vacation's going well for you, and I appreciate you calling in, my guy. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Well, I just wanted to call in to ask you a question today. And, it sort of got me thinking. I don't know if you know this, but the State House recently, I believe last month, changed their laws on NIL. So now it is legal for within the state of South Carolina for athletic departments to facilitate NIL deals for their student athletes. How do you think that changes our approach to NIL? And do you think it helps us, or, in what ways could we use that to our advantage?
Yeah. Because I did see something, but so the schools are able now to facilitate the deals versus it having to be a third party, basically an outside source.
Yeah, so essentially before this new law change, what would happen is obviously like it was upon the student athlete to reach out to businesses to like get NIL deals and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like,
right.
And student athletes can still do this, but with this law change, it now makes it a bit like it's now legal for the actual athletics department to reach out to businesses and say, hey, we got this student athlete. Would you like to do an NIL deal with them? And, that basically opens it up for the school to work with NIL collectives like, I don't know, the Garnet Trust or other, NIL collectives like that.
Right. I mean, I think it helps. I think it benefits for sure. And I think it will change NIL a little bit for sure. I mean, I think that, I don't know, man. Guys are going to keep getting paid. I don't know. I mean, it's going to change some things in the way deals happen. Deals are going to keep happening, though, right? They're going to keep happening. It's wild, though, to think now schools are going to facilitate the payment of players. It's becoming pro sports, is it not? Like there's becoming like a salary cap.
Essentially, yeah.
There's becoming a salary cap. Each school has a salary cap. Like that's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Beyond the
To some
scholarship.
degree.
Beyond the scholarship.
Yeah, obviously you still have the scholarship limit and all that, but anybody who was under the impression that like Tennessee wasn't like their athletics department wasn't helping to facilitate like Nico's deal, or Miami isn't their athletics department isn't saying like this is the guy we want. If you're going to pay a player to come here, like we want this guy, like that was going on
right
as soon as NIL became legal.
Mm-hmm.
It was happening even before that, but I'm just wondering, like, obviously South Carolina, if you're talking about the SEC East, is one of the schools. Like, don't get me wrong, we have wealthy boosters and we have money, but when you consider just the amount of money that other schools have in the SEC, do you think like being able to spread that money out and sort of use it to and be more efficient with it as far as like quote unquote paying players to like commit, like do you think that would help us or hurt us in the long run?
I think it helps. I think it's going to help us in the long run. I do. NIL is just an interesting thing, man. I wondered, is it do you think it's going to change things in the sense of like, I think outside deals are still going to happen, right? Because you're going to get more money. I think it makes everybody feel better that somebody's actually facilitating what's going down, but it still just kind of feels like it's going to be a highest bidder wins the player type of system. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the school wants to have control and they want to have their hands on it. That's and it makes the NCAA feel better if that's the case versus me just facilitating a business deal with a guy and I'm completely not affiliated with the school, which I guess, it could still happen, right? Like that was that law saying it has to go through the school or it just can now?
No, it's not a requirement
right,
that the school has to facilitate all NIL deals, but there is, from my understanding, there's now like a department within the athletics department that is just in charge of like seeking out businesses that will sponsor their athletes. Essentially.
Yeah, well, I think it'll help the athletes then, because I think the school is going to set up the athletes with partnerships that can only benefit them, right? Maybe it also helps in regards to eliminating bad business deals, right? And again, facilitating partnerships that are beneficial for both sides, because that's the end goal, right? I can tell you from my business, right? The best partnerships, think about the game of baseball, the best trades are ones that benefit both teams, right? The best business partnerships are the ones that are mutually beneficial. And so, yeah, I think South Carolina will be able to help that. They're going to be able to help the businesses. They're going to help the players. And I think that's something you can certainly sell. I think probably every school will take advantage of that and they'll say the same thing. But, I do think it'll help South Carolina. I think it'll help the Gamecocks. And, man, as much as I love talking about NIL, it's like stuff like that, man, it's just something so far out of our control. Unless you're the one cutting the check, it's just so far out of our control, bro. It's interesting to follow NIL, right? But it's the same shit that's been going down forever. Just now there's more hands touching the process. There's more people involved.
Well,
that's the only difference.
Another question that sort of spins off from that. Do you think that like they're becoming two quote unquote super conferences? Because if like Notre Dame, Oregon, Washington all join the Big Ten and then potentially all the power brands in the ACC join the SEC, you're essentially making two like super power conferences that are unrivaled from any of the other conferences. And obviously every school involved in that is going to make more money. How do you think that plays into the whole NIL situation with paying players?
Dude, again, are we moving towards the complete professionalization of college football?
It feels like that.
Yeah.
I would say for sure it does.
At some point, bro, if you have super conferences and then you have the bankroll, you like you're saying, more money. you might as well just put people on a set monthly stipend. You might as well put people on a set
like a
monthly
contract.
paycheck, right? On a contract. And which I hate. I do. I hate it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I want guys to get paid. I want them to benefit from their name, image, likeness. But NIL has definitely spun out of control. It has. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to see the professionalization of college athletics, because the amateurism is kind of what makes it special.
Do you think at some point? Well, do you think at some point, like if it goes to, professional teams where like, the players aren't even really students, they're literally just like semi-pro,
Right.
or like minor league.
Why would you go to
NFL
class
players,
if you're making a check like that? You know what I mean? Yeah.
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 I mean, do you think that fans sort of get turned off by that eventually, and they say, this isn't why I like college football. If I wanted to watch professional football, I'd just watch the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you think fans do that, or do you think there will always be enough people supporting it to where you can just keep growing revenues and keep making more and more and more money? Because at the end of the day, that seems like what all the people in charge of everything really care about.
Yeah. I think certainly, and Phil, our good buddy Phil, has voiced concern on this. It does make college football less likable. It does. It makes college football less likable. Because like you're saying, is it really college football still? Is it really still college football?
Right, because the thing about college football is that the students, like, even though obviously they got paid under the table, they were still students at the school, that at the end of the day they still cared about the school that they were playing for. Now it's just which school can give me the most money, which school can make me the most likely that I'll go to the NFL. And going to the NFL has always been like the major motivator for committing to a school, I think. There are a lot of schools that can do that. Yeah, it just feels like it's turning into just the money. Like, how can we make more money this year than we did next year? And it's just a business now, and it's fine if you want to generate money off of providing this product, but I just feel like we're going too far, and I don't think that anybody's really going to steer us in the right direction. But ultimately, the good thing is, if you still want to, support South Carolina, we're going to be in the quote unquote super conference. It's not like we're going to be, left out of it. So,
right.
That's the only upside I can think of.
Which is why I think probably a move from schools like Clemson, FSU, Miami coming to the SEC is inevitable, because they're not going to be left out either.
No, they're not. They'll probably they'll generate too much revenue to be left out of the quote unquote super conference. So.
Yeah, but listen,
so, that's basic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say though. I think definitely the approval rating from college football fans, and is it likable? I think that listen, because when I think of college football, what makes college football great, it's never really fazed me. It's never fazed me that guys, recruits, were getting money under the table, paid, whatever. NIL doesn't even faze me. What makes college football great is the passion, the energy, the pageantry, the traditions, things that you can look back and watch games from the 70s and watch games today, and a lot has changed. But there's some things that haven't changed. Josh Pate made a great point on this. There's some things that haven't changed, right, while many things have. And that school pride, you know what I mean? But, you as the game changes, there's just going to be some people that fall off that don't like the thought of a professionalized college football, It's called college football. College, not pro, college, right? And again, this is the stance nobody wants to have, because if you're not totally 120% on the side of the player, then you're negative and you're a hater, and and I am on the side of the player, but I'm just giving an alternative perspective. Like what has happened is we've just completely allowed greed to take over. And it's the NCAA's fault because it's their greed that stemmed this whole thing, that they wanted to be so anti giving the players anything, any sort of money, that now they're taking it all. You know, now the players like, we're going to get it all. We're going to get all the money. But, you know, they're back in the day, it was cool to just, it meant something to like earn a scholarship. You know, it meant something to get an offer from South Carolina. Hey, all your books are paid for. Your schooling's paid for. That was a big deal. Now, bro, that's like the bare minimum. Like, recruits are looking at schools and saying, not what can I do for the University of South Carolina? They're saying, well, what can USC do for me that A&M and Clemson and Georgia that they're not going to do? And a lot of that has to do with a dollar sign, right? So, and it's just the reality, and it's you know, I know everything. Listen, the almighty dollar, it makes the world spin. I get it, man. Inflation's happening. Money matters. Like, money's important. But I don't know. At some point,
at the end of the day, a lot of these recruits also come from like underprivileged backgrounds,
and they
right?
always
So
have.
if there's money,
and they
on
always
the
have.
table,
And they always have. Yeah.
If there's money on the table right now, like at a high school for them to get, then I don't blame them at all for, you know, taking the money.
Yeah.
Right? That's not my issue. I would do the same thing if I were in their situation. But I do think it is getting out of control. There's a happy medium to be had, and I think we've completely, you know, gone overboard and jumped the shark on this issue, so to speak.
Well, like I said, man, I to some degree, I think NIL will work itself out in a way because, I mean, dude, I tell you this. At what point does winning at all costs go too far? Listen, we all want to have a great college football program. We all want to have a good football team. But some of these money numbers that are being thrown around, is it really worth that much just to lay your head on your pillow at night and say, my college football team's really good? It's a game, dude. It's a game. I know, listen, I know I might sound blasphemous saying that because I have a business built around the University of South Carolina and their athletics, but it is a game. Like, to be throwing $9 million at a 17-year-old, bro, reevaluate your priorities in life. I don't care whose feelings that hurts. Reevaluate your priorities in life. Like, that to me is insanity, bro. Like I understand, like, we're fanatics and but like, are people so attached to their favorite team? Like, it's completely their identity. Like, we have to get this player and we have to win this many games or I'm going to be a miserable human being. Because that's the only reason you're spending that kind of stupid money. It's crazy to me.
mean,
that's
like
why I
Josh
said
Tate,
I would never want South Carolina to be in some bidding war like that. Trayon Webb, for example. A school wants to offer you a certain amount of money. Bro, at some point, the number gets to a point where it's like, this is absurd and it's not worth it. It's just ridiculous. Like, you are a 16-year-old kid. You're not worth what you're asking.
Like Josh Tate said, boosters are basically just fans with a lot of money.
They're fans with influence. That's it. That doesn't make them smart.
Yeah.
They're fans with influence. That's it. That's it, bro. Trust me, I've met a lot of people with money that are idiots. Not in regards to, like, you got to be a smart person to some degree to, you know, to accumulate wealth in that way. But there's some people that just, you know, their decision-making skills aren't the best, right? But at the end of the day, like you said, they're just fans with influence. That's it. Just fans with a fat wallet. That's it. That's it. I just, again, man, I just, with this NIL stuff, like, I understand the realities and you got to pay players. And listen, you gave a guy like Clowney money and good. Thank God we did, right? But to some point, when does winning by any cost go too far?
$8 million.
Yeah.
We didn't give Clowney $8 million.
No.
Like, you know,
no.
We gave him a lot, but not that much.
When, again, I just asked that question. When does winning at any cost go too far? Is it okay to take a step back and say, hey, it just means more in the SEC? Sometimes it means too much. Sometimes it means a little too much.
And for the conferences, when does making money not become the main priority? for your decision making, you know?
Right.
Because there's no reason that UCLA and Southern Cal should be in the Big Ten other than that they'll make the conference that they're joining more money and they'll make themselves more money. So I don't know. This realignment stuff is just like, I'm not saying that the entire sport of college football is coming to an end, but at some point that people are going to have to, you know, get to their senses and say, for long-term success, this is not what we should be doing, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know when it's going to happen, but it has to for the health of the game, I would say.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see just how it unfolds because none of us know. None of us really know, Dalton. And I know money's important, but when does the greed ever stop? Does the greed ever stop? You know what I mean? Is there a system in which we're not leading with greed? Is there?
I don't know. Somebody's going to have to figure it out. I hope, you know, we can come to an agreement on that. I think most fans agree on it. I just don't think the people in charge of our sport agree on that necessarily yet.
Right.
But that's just my 2 cents today. And, you know,
yeah,
you enjoy the rest of your day.
Dalton, I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Great stuff from Dalton, guys. With that being said, we are going to jump into a quick break while John Edward and Phil fight it out in the comments. Love the passion, boys. Y'all keep it up. Guys, again, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I need my guys, John, Edward, and Phil to put the gloves on and duke this out like some real men. We got a text here. Chris, it's Justin. How was your 4th of July? Have you seen Top Gun Maverick yet? I've got a South Carolina Gamecocks primary logo shot glass to add to my man cave. A lot to break down there. Love the shot glass thing. That's awesome. Have not seen Top Gun Maverick, and my 4th was good. My 4th was really good. I appreciate you asking. Travis Allen says, Chris, am I the only one that thinks we still have questions on the staff? Satterfield and Torian Gray still haven't proven themselves. Gray had a tough time at Florida. I hope those two prove they have what it takes. Travis, I feel like Torian Gray is doing work. I mean, secondary was good last year. He's recruited, I think, extremely well. I feel pretty confident in Torian Gray and his status with Carolina football moving forward. I mean, Satterfield's obviously the big question. Sat's the big question, and his fate will simply be determined by the performance of the offense this year. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. So his fate will be determined by how we do on offense. There's just no other way to put it. So Phil says, what about regulation and promotion for these super conferences? Interesting idea, in my opinion. What do you mean exactly, Phil, with regulation and promotion? I don't know. It's weird to me that the whole super conferences thing is happening. Why? Why is it such a thing? I mean, I guess money, but what's going to make Southern Cal more attractive to watch now that they're in the Big Ten? Like, who cares? It's still Southern Cal football. Like, whatever. If you're not interested in it, how is them being in the Big Ten going to matter? Anyways, I don't know, man. College football is rapidly changing. It's rapidly changing. So, and it's changing whether you like it or not. It is rapidly changing whether you like it or not. Dalton Hines, more teams in the SEC isn't good if it's only to make more money. It also breaks up traditional rivalries and it screws over smaller schools. Yeah, I mean, more of something is not always better, Dalton. That includes more teams in the SEC. I agree with you. If you lose out on traditional rivalries, yearly rivalries, is it really a gain? I don't know. I don't know that it is. Oh, the slap dicks on Twitter, bro. Like, I literally said on social media, I just think the more that I think about it, South Carolina, I think, cannot hit that 7+ win mark this season unless they split games against Arkansas and Kentucky. And somebody told me I'm being negative for saying that. How is that negative? It's just how I feel. It's not negativity to have an opinion and feel something. I just feel like for South Carolina to get to 7 or more wins, they need to split those games. That's it. That's not negative. It's not negative. I just think that it is asking a lot. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Phil here.
We'll jump to Phil's call first. Phil, what's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
I just wanted to call in real quick and explain what I meant by relegation and promotion real quick. I think that would probably be better than just typing it out.
Right.
So the concept comes from English soccer. And I know a lot of people are just going to completely tune out right now because they're pig-headed, but that's perfectly fine. I know that you won't, so we're going to have a conversation. The concept is like there's multiple tiers to professionalism in England and all over the world with soccer. and there's 20 teams that are at the top flight, the best teams in England. Okay, the bottom 3 teams, it's a point system, so you get 3 points for winning a game. That's not really too much of a concern. So you can still do win-loss in American football the same way. So the worst teams of these conferences, if there's, let's say, 20 teams, the bottom 3 would fall out of the top tier and go down to the second tier. And the top 3 of the second tier would move up into the premier division. So it's just a concept that I saw a headline from the Wall Street Journal talking about the possibility that that could help save the sport. Obviously, it doesn't tackle anything to do with the NIL deals and all this money being thrown around to these kids, which, you know, I'm not a huge fan of overall. You know, if you want kids to get a cut of the profits from a university selling their jersey numbers and stuff like that, I'm all for it, man. Like, that should have been from day one. That should have been implemented. But, you know, throwing this big money around to kids, I can't be in favor of that. But I just thought it would be an interesting concept. If you're moving towards these super conferences, you should have relegation and promotion into it. Now, if you're at the top flight, obviously you can't move beyond that. Let's say it's the SEC conferences, the top flight. But the tiers that are below that, let's say the Big 10 or the Big 12, whatever it is, they can move into the SEC type of premier conference. And then the worst, you know, bottom feeders of the SEC conference can then fall out. But it changes every single year. So you've got this more exciting aspect to it. Then, of course, you have a champion at the end. But in the meantime, there's also these other storylines of, you know, who's going to fall out of the top tier and who's going to make it into the top tier. Could be interesting.
Could be interesting, yeah. I mean, I think in entertainment purposes, just keeping more, like we said before, just keeping more fan bases engaged for longer. It's, you know, in regard, if you're making these super conferences, yeah, if you got 20 teams in a conference and there's one conference champion, that's a lot of fan bases that are just tuning out halfway through the year because, like, well, we're not winning the title anyways.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying we would do that, but if you're thinking about it from trying to keep the casual fans' attention, that might be something you need to consider. But yeah, speaking to NIL, man, like you said, like I think it. I mean, I'm with you. I think a lot of it's crazy. I know it's like because it's still such a new, fun thing. Like, it's a flashy thing. Everybody wants to just say like, oh, this player does this for me, or I'm partnered with this player. Like, I'll take this for example, Jim Hudson, Lexus, and whatever, all the cars. And Jim Hudson's a very successful man and does really, really well. But they gave Spencer Rattler a truck, right? And that's fine. Cool. That's great. Spencer Rattler posted about it one time. I ain't seen that truck since. I'm like, why don't you give me a truck? I'll record the podcast from the truck. I'll post about the truck every day. Like, it's crazy, bro. That's why I'm talking about the business owner side of things. You ain't getting the return on your investment. You're not.
No.
You know?
No.
You're not. So,
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I'd like to think NIL will work itself out when adults, functioning adults, their functioning brains take over 16 and 17-year-olds calling the shots, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to give a consistent performer at this level, somebody that was highly recruited, is going to do pretty well on the field. You want to give them a car and, have them promote your brand more than what has been done, right? Because otherwise it's kind of a waste of money. But I have no problem with that. But throwing, $10 million to a highly touted recruit for that has proven nothing is really wild.
Yeah.
But that's just.
I mean, again, but maybe, and I get having screw you money. You got that type of money to throw away and throw around, and hey, cool, that's fine. I just though feel like I've said before, like even if I had it, at what point does winning at any cost go too far? Like, bro, like get a life, dude. Like, really? Like, there's people out there that are starving. You giving a 17-year-old $8 million? Like, really? Like, come on, man. Like, bro, if it's nuts. It's nuts.
It is. And part of what you're saying is like there's going to be no regulation from the top up at this point. It's just going to be people realizing, using common sense, business owners and stuff like that, figuring out that this is not a good deal. But eventually, I imagine that NCAA will have to try to put some of this back into the tube here. If they're going to be successful at it or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we can't continue on the way that we are in this arms race.
I-
We kind of all figured
yeah.
it would kind of go this route, but it's just not going to work.
I think if the NCAA could go back in time, they would. NIL would have never happened. I don't think they ever would have even. I don't think they would have ever. Because we were getting along just fine, slipping guys money under the table and nobody hearing about it. We really were. I mean, there was no. Now NIL is all we talk about. It's all we talk about.
Right.
So I don't know.
Listen, man, if I wanted to watch the NFL, I'd watch the NFL. Like, it's kind of getting to that. Like, it's just really disgusting.
Yeah, and I don't. I will say again, I don't blame the players. Get your money, but
Sure.
The NCAA, or really what college football and college athletics lacks, is competent leadership, and it really always has. And so here the NCAA is yet again. It's unfortunate we can't trust that they will figure this thing out because they've never proven that they have the capability to do so. So
Sure.
I don't know. Blind leading the blind is kind of what it feels like.
It's wild times right now, and quote unquote amateur college football. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be a Carolina fan forever, for life. I don't pull for other teams. It's Carolina or nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to roll with it. But will I watch less and care less as this stuff continues to fall apart? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not going to stop me from wearing my repping my school. I'm wearing Carolina shoes right now. I'm wearing a Carolina hat. I'm wearing a freaking Carolina polo right now. That's never going to change. But in terms of my attention span with what's going on, that will certainly change if things don't get better. And hopefully people will understand that if you don't like what you're watching, you don't have to watch it. You can do other stuff. There's all kind of stuff out there that you can get into and still be happy. And then maybe eventually, if enough people do that, these things will change because it is all about money, right? Well, money, what does that equate to? It's really just eyeballs on the TV or asses in seats and stuff like that. So if that momentum eventually changes, they'll have to change, as well.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works, man.
Yeah. Well said, Phil. I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
All right, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, man. Take care. 843-790-3377. Aaron Hodges says, why do we keep blaming the NCAA? Well, people blame Ray Tanner for South Carolina's problems. You blame leadership. I mean, Aaron, the NCAA is the one that pulled the strings on all this and made NIL a thing in the first place. So they certainly share a lot of the blame, right? I mean, think about it. Who releases something as massive, game-changing as NIL, and there's just no restrictions? There's just like nothing. There's no game plan, nothing. That to me seems kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would echo what Aaron says. I'm all game for the kids getting the money. As long as there are no restrictions, get it, right? Get it. I don't blame the Miami kid for taking $8.5 million. Get it, bro. Get it. I just question the sanity of the business owners. I question the sanity of the fanatics. I question the sanity of the fanatics with influence, with money. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't even care. I don't even care if it's a Gamecock, if it's Aaron Hodges, if it's Phil, if it's Connor, if it's John. If you told me you were going to give a recruit $8 million to come to our school, I would just legitimately question your sanity as a human being. I would. Because, again, at the end of the day, when does winning at all costs go too far? It's a game. It's a game. Again, I know that's blasphemous for some, but it's a game, dude. You shouldn't need a $30 million recruiting class to compete. You shouldn't need that. You just should not need that. That's like I told you guys last week. $30 million. A&M put in that class. What if they go 8-4 again? What if it never pans out? Maybe it will, and next year or 5 years from now, I'm saying, you know what, you got to do that. But that to me just seems crazy, bro. That to me seems insane. Seems insane. Travis Allen, what does an NIL facility need? What's in an NIL facility? I mean, I feel like we've got a $50 million facility. We don't need to build another facility. Travis Allen, what would be inside of an NIL facility? You know? I mean, if we ain't got room in our $50 million facility for NIL stuff and to educate folks in NIL, that's a problem. I think we do. I don't think building another facility is what we need to do. I could be wrong, but I think we're okay. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break, but I want to continue to hear from you more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. On the other side, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow, taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We have a text here. It says, agree, you probably need to split Arkansas and Kentucky to win 7+. But what if things were to go shockingly well? Rattler looks like a top 5 pick. Lloyd's who we thought he was. Bell shows first-round abilities. Defense continues to find ways. I understand why people are getting carried away with expectations. In reality, I'm thrilled with 8 wins, happy with 6 or 7. But what if? What if, man? The hope springs eternal in the offseason, my guy. And listen, I want to make that very clear, too, that I try to keep things as realistic and grounded as possible because I think that's healthy, right? I think that's healthy to not set yourself up for heartache, right? When it comes to your sports team, something you really, truly don't have any control over. But I want to make it very clear, right? South Carolina could go 6-6 this year, but they could also go 8-4. I mean, it's very realistic. This team could go 8-4 because, like you said, I mean, what if Lloyd is back and is the dude we think he is? What if Rattler, his addition, completely changes the offensive line? What if Rattler plays the levels that we know he's capable of? Defense takes another step, and we can actually stop the run a little bit, and Clayton White continues to earn that paycheck. What if? You know what I mean? What if? It's possible. I don't, it's possible. But I think that's why you're going to see, guys, most people pick the Gamecocks to go 7-5, because picking this team to win less than 6 games feels a little too pessimistic, and picking this team to win more than 8 feels a little aggressive on the optimistic side. 7's kind of the sweet spot. Like 7-5 is the safe. 7-5 is the safe. You know what? This team was better. They were solid. They weren't great, but they weren't terrible. So let's see. Jeff posted my prediction score on your post the other day and got the comment my scores were too close on some games. I mean, listen, scores are debatable. Scores are really debatable. Scores are really debatable. So, but let's see. Luke RJ, I wouldn't add any score to the SEC that doesn't really care about football and doesn't pack out their stadium every game. And the SEC just means more, and caring about football should be first. I think the teams they've mentioned, the Clemsons, Florida States, I know Miami's debatable, UNC's debatable, but those schools care about football. I mean, I think those, when they're good especially. But, I mean, Luke RJ, let's be fair, all right? And when you say something like that, let's be fair. We didn't pack out the stadium every game last year. Bro, there might have been 40,000 people at that Troy game. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, yeah, I just, But I think the SEC, listen, the SEC is only going to make moves that positively benefit them. Garrett H., any chance Rattler does decent but comes back to do even better next year? Is he for sure a one and done? I think Garrett, again, he's for sure a one and done. And I think I'll go as far as say I think if he's back next year, that's a bad thing. Because that means he didn't have a year that he needed to have to get drafted, and that's his number one goal. I think, listen, Rattler wants to help us win games, but Rattler's number one goal is to play well so we win, so he wins, so he gets drafted. Which is fine, because guess what? Rattler's success is our success. I'm cool with it. Bro, I don't want him. I mean, this might sound whatever type of way. I don't care how it sounds, because I don't want him to be here next year. Rattler, ball out, throw for 4,000 yards, throw 40 touchdowns, go in the first round and leave. I don't want him to be here another year. Like, that's the best case scenario, guys. I don't know if people understand that. You don't want him to return next year. If he's returning next year, that is a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That means he did not have the season he wanted to have or we wanted him to have. And I know some of you may think, well, what, Chris, what about, he just loves Carolina and school pride. Guys, Rattler's not a Gamecock guy. I mean, he loves Beamer, and I'm sure he's embraced USC. But, Rattler didn't grow up a Gamecock. The guy's from Arizona. You know what I mean? He's here to play in the SEC, to ball out, to get drafted, and go. And we're cool with that. I'm cool with that. Again, people ask, what's a successful season for Spencer Rattler? You can talk yards if you want. You can talk touchdowns. Our guy Luke RJ talked about breaking Dylan Thompson's passing yard single season record. All that's fine and dandy, but as long as he plays to a level in which he gets drafted in the first 3 rounds, to me, that's a successful year. Because, again, that means he played well. He did. He played well. He played well. It's going to help us immensely in recruiting. I think you're already seeing it help us immensely. Spencer Rattler's addition. Getting guys like Dante Reno. Of course, you already had Braden Davis in the pipeline, Tanner Bailey. I mean, recruiting that position is going to change. Shane Beamer understands you got to have a quarterback to win games. You have not had a quarterback drafted since 1989. You get Spencer Rattler drafted, all of a sudden it's like, hey, we can develop a quarterback here. You can come here as a top-tier quarterback, and you can get a great education. You can be in a beautiful facility. You can play for the best fans in college football. You can win, and you can go to the next level. And we have not been able to say that for a very long time. I mean, think about it, guys. You're a quarterback prospect, and you looked at Carolina historically. You're like, bro, what's one thing Carolina doesn't do? They don't put quarterbacks in the league. If you're gonna sell our defensive back history, man, we put a lot of DBs in the league. Well, guys, you got to think teams are going against us saying South Carolina, they don't put quarterbacks in the league. They don't develop quarterbacks. Their quarterbacks don't play at the next level, and guys want to play at the next level. That's a big deal. So, bro, as long as Rattler has a year, it can be he throws for 3,100, 32, 33, 34, 35, however many yards he throws for, how many touchdowns. As long as he plays well enough to get drafted in those first 3 rounds, I think, to me, that's a successful year because he played well. And if Spencer Rattler plays well, guys, we win. You want to know we'll close on this. You want to know the biggest difference between if South Carolina wins 6 games or 8 games? We can talk O-line, we can talk D-line, we can talk run defense, we can talk whatever. We will go as far as Spencer Rattler takes us. Fairly or unfairly, I'm willing to stand by that statement. South Carolina, the difference between winning 6 games and 8 games is going to be Spencer Rattler. Just how good is he? Is he the guy we all think and thought that he was when we got his commitment? Is he that guy? That'll be the difference with this team. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate you all tuning in. Daily Crow rocking and rolling all week. Huge content week, man. My predictions, part 1 dropping tomorrow on the podcast. Friday, we'll have part 2, the full schedule, full breakdown, dude. It's going to be one hell of a week content bleeding out of the eyeball. Stay tuned. And, of course, guys, Shane Beamer's going to keep rocking on the recruiting trail. Again, stay tuned for all the content, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.